Hey friends, Kirsten here. Happy New Year, happy 2021. We made it. I know some things we're still looking around and wondering, is it gonna change? But it will, because that's the way things go, is that we continue to become more and more resilient. We keep changing and we keep transforming and looking for better ways to do things. So my prayer is that this year is a year where all the resilience built up in 2020 starts to manifest and you start to see new things unfold that you wouldn't have ever seen before. So here we go. What does 2021 hold for you? Something that I love to do at the end of every year is to actually look through my year, spend some time journaling and praying and just receiving what is a word or a phrase over my year ahead that I want to hold on to and carry with me through the rest of the year as really just a signpost and a steadying anchor of what to return back to. And that word for me for 2021, I think there's actually several that I have, but the main word that I kept coming back to was believe. And the reason for that was because I kept coming back to this revelation that no matter what we do, no matter what I change in my life, no matter how much willpower I have, no matter what happens, if I don't believe in the best, if I don't believe that I'm worth my time, if I don't believe in certain things, then I won't see transformation. And there's that amazing scripture that says, you know, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, Romans 12:2. But beyond that, just there's a place where belief sounds so simple. And so we pass over it and we look past our mind and what's kind of happening in between our ears. And instead we end up going on to, oh, let me just grab a hold of more willpower and let me push through this and let me see that. I am one of them. You know, I tell you, I have a lot of willpower. I have a lot of discipline. And yet, in the midst of that, if I have beliefs that are limiting, I end up not being able to really do what I'm trying to do. Even with all the willpower and might that I have, I can't end up doing it. Maybe I can train for a race and finish the race, but there are other things in my life that I'll step out into and try to do. And you know, we all do that. And this is a season right now, January, especially of 2021, where we're all kind of asking, you know, am I gonna follow through? Is there even any point in setting goals or dreaming? Because I don't know what's gonna happen. And last week I talked about setting goals in a way that's kind to you, to your heart, that looks back and reflects back with kindness to you, but also gives you excitement and the ability to dream forward. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about probably one of my favorite tools, one of my favorite pieces of coaching and even personal transformation, and that's overcoming limiting beliefs. And I talked a while back about transforming and renewing our mind on a regular basis, and so I'm kind of taking that a step further and giving us 4 steps that we can do. And these are things that I do regularly. And when I start to get flabby on my beliefs, you know, you have to lift weights at the gym to get stronger muscles. You need to increase the resistance. That's a very powerful thought when you think about it. In order to get stronger, you have to increase the resistance. And that's the same with our thought life, with our belief systems. We have belief systems irregardless of if we want them. And over time of coaching people, of doing breakthrough sessions, of doing prayer sessions and inner healing and emotional healing and mindset renewal and health coaching, all of that, I started to see that pattern over and over again, that there are so many beliefs that we have that are limiting our ability to move forward. And even though the thing is that I might have a belief maybe in my mind, but in my subconscious or deeper in my heart, there's a truth that that I'm holding on to, that I feel is true, but I'm living out of it, that's keeping me from actually moving forward. And I'm going to explain what that means. I know that sounds a little vague at first, but one of the best examples is this season, January, in the new year, when everyone starts making new resolutions to eat better, to exercise more, to, let me finally get my health back on track. And I know a lot of people are looking at that after 2020. There's been a lot more time at home. Gyms are closed in many places. And so we're asking, okay, let me set that New Year's resolution. But if we're honest, resolutions don't often last. You know, January is a big month for gyms, and then they fizzle out by February. And I was really shocked to see that. I didn't realize that it went that fast, that we kind of create a resolve, and then within a couple weeks, we're already off track. And, you know, I've been looking at that in a lot of different areas of my life and the lives of those that I am working with, and as well as with personal change and transformation. And so what does that look like? Why is it that we don't follow through? And one of the major reasons is because of our beliefs. The challenge is that most people actually believe that it's because they're just not strong enough. And my friend, if you've experienced shame over self-sabotage, or you've experienced shame over not having strong enough willpower, or not being strong enough to follow through, or just feeling like a failure, I want to break that off of you right now, because you're not a failure. You're not a failure. You're not a failure. Okay? So what we have to do, though, is take some time and unveil what our beliefs are that are holding us back. Now, it's easy, and it's also takes work, right? We need resistance in order to get stronger. So we need to apply some fundamental, easy principles to start creating new pathways, new neural pathways in our brain. Our brain is neuroplastic. It has the ability to be rewired, or really to create new pathways. But we have to do it intentionally. And that's the really interesting part, is a lot of times we think that we are just kind of subject to our thoughts, or we don't recognize the beliefs that are underlying our behaviors. We actually live out of our beliefs. I know I'm sure I've said that before, but it's important to really think about that. Why do I do that action? And why do I do that behavior? Well, it's actually because of a belief that's in there. All right, are you getting excited? But that means that you can change that belief, and that behavior and that action will actually transform, right? So when, you know, fun little story, when I, right before I really had a lot of health issues, I was really living life and enjoying my life and my job and my work, but I was really stressed out in the midst of it, in the process of it. And I hadn't really thought about eating well or exercising anymore. I used to really love health and really love exercise, but I was so enjoying the job that I had and the life I was living, and things ended up getting really stressful for a season that I really put them on hold. And I realized afterwards that I started to develop a belief that those things don't matter. And it matters more what I'm doing with my life than how I'm treating my life. So, you know, that might be a belief that we carry. And I started to realize, you know what? Well, I didn't realize this until it was too late. So hopefully I can share this with you before it's too late, that I was in my bed and I couldn't move and I couldn't walk and had no energy. I could hardly think at all. And I realized, oh my goodness, if I don't take care of myself, if I don't first honor myself and first pour into the life I have with all the things that we do, is self-care with nutrition and exercise and joy and laughter and creativity and really creating a whole balanced life, then I won't be able to do the things I want to do and feel called to do. So I ended up having it completely backwards, but it was a belief that if I am doing the things I'm doing and wanting to do and called to do, then I don't need to take care of myself. And I don't know that I really thought that out loud. I couldn't have told you that in the time, but I definitely saw that when the time came and I was sick in bed and realized kind of what had happened and the progression of where I went. And so that's how intense our beliefs can have on us. We have a belief that a lot of times when I'm working with clients, I end up hearing this regularly, this subtle belief that they don't even hear. So you might have this as well. You might want to listen in, that you're not worthy of taking care of. That especially with people who love helping people. I, for one, love helping people. And I even find it sometimes it's harder to take care of myself than it is to take care of others. And so we often put others' needs ahead of our own. And again, I learned that the hard way. If I do that, then I will not be able to take care of people for very long because my own health will suffer. So it's that whole putting on the oxygen mask first so that you can help other people. But it's all about a belief. And so when that belief changed for me, it became easy to exercise and I had joy in it because I knew I'm taking care of this body, this temple. I know that I'm pouring into it. I love myself and who I am and all that entails. And so then I'm able to easily love other people, but also keep healthy boundaries around my own life so that my energy levels are at a high point all the time. And of course I have, days where my energy levels drop because we work hard or do different things like that every now and then, but not on a regular basis anymore. Now I have regular energy, regular joy flowing through because I have a belief, I need to take care of this person first, me, and then that way I can take care of more and more people. My capacity will be larger. Okay, so other ways our beliefs come in and limit us is, say you have a dream to have a family or take care of your family or love on the people around you, and yet you're not taking care of yourself because you don't believe that, maybe there were things from 0 to 5 when you were being raised that kind of said, hey, these are some statements or things that have been said, like, you need to keep changing, you need to keep, you're not good enough, or you need to take care of your siblings, or maybe, different areas. I don't want to call out too many things so that we don't stir anything up, but I want to be able to kind of clarify that these things are truly the most ingrained beliefs that we have come from 0 to 5, and they become subconscious. We can't always see them, except for we see that our actions aren't lining up with what we're hoping for. And that becomes an energy drain. And so when you notice like you're not following through, it can kind of become draining on your mind and on your heart and on your body. Why am I not doing this? So here we go. Okay, hopefully that lays some good groundwork for you on what, I'm sure we all know that we have limiting beliefs. The question is, do we address them and do we do anything about them? We are always on a constant motion moving forward of ingraining certain beliefs and patterns in our mind, whether we want to or not. And so the pattern begins to stop on the day, hopefully today, as you're listening to this and as you respond with the action items I'm going to give you in just a minute. If we are intentional about starting to stop those limiting beliefs and patterns, we change the actions, the behaviors, and the patterns, and therefore the results that we get. So, right, if you want to lose weight, but you just, every diet you go on never ends up working, you always gain the weight back. Well, what if there's even a belief that's in your body, that's in your heart and your mind, that's stored in there, that somehow the weight is actually a protection mechanism? That happens all the time. What if there's a belief that, if you lose the weight, all of a sudden things are going to happen and you don't know if you really want that to happen? Or what if there's a belief that you can't lose weight? And so therefore, no matter what diet you go on, you can't. Okay, so it can really come in there and manifest in a lot of different ways. We can have sickness that develops and we believe that we deserved it. You don't ever deserve sickness, by the way. So we want to really look at what's happening around our beliefs and how are we responding and reacting to them. So when we start to say, actually, I'm going to be intentional about my beliefs and my belief life, then you start to see real change happen. I wanted to share one powerful thought for you before we go into the 4 steps, is that it really, here's how it kind of transformed and manifested for me, is that when my body was sick, I didn't believe that it was my fault. I chose not to believe that there was just something wrong with me, innately wrong with me. I chose not to believe that it's just in my genes, or this is just the way it is. And those things are things that I hear regularly. It's just in my genes. It's my fault. I deserve this. You know, that comes around and we've got to listen to that. So I chose to believe my body is a powerfully created, I don't want to say machine, but my body is powerful and created actually to heal itself and is designed to thrive given the right circumstances. So if I'm not thriving, I'm just not in the right environment. And so I believe that with all of my heart for everyone. I believe that for you, that if your body's not thriving, if your heart and your mind are not thriving, it's just about getting into the right environment. And we can do that by creating new beliefs. So what does that look like? Well, I said, okay, if I'm not thriving, I need to start looking first at what am I believing? I need to start looking at what is my environment? And then I need to start looking around and going, is there anything that I need to change or shift or adjust? And so it wasn't an easy process, but those were the steps I just repeated regularly until my body healed. I have energy, I have joy and excitement. All right, so so we've got to be intentional about what do we believe and how does that affect what's coming out. So ready? All right, so you've heard some of these in what I've been sharing, but I'm going to kind of break them down a little bit quicker in an easier step-by-step process. So just 4 simple steps to overcoming limiting beliefs and upgrading our beliefs into empowering ones. So the first step is to actually address those limiting beliefs. Actually come and bring them into the light. If they are hidden in your mind, then they are not actually in the light. You need to unveil them and put them out there. Actually see that what you're believing and how it's limiting you. We're not going to spend a lot of time on that. You don't want to sit there and dwell on them. The only reason you unveil them is to see these are the beliefs that are holding me back so that we can overcome them and move forward. All right. So, you know, you don't go into a room and try to clean. You can't clean a room without seeing the mess that's there first. Okay. We do this every day in our lives. We wash the dishes, which means that we have to be able to see the dirt on the dish in order to clean it. Okay, you have to know that your clothes smell a little stinky to know that you need to wash them. Okay, so it's okay to unveil things for a minute so we know what needs to be cleaned, okay? So the first step is just to take one area and, you know, don't go in every area of your life, but one area where you're having a bit of a challenge overcoming, or you're not taking action in the way that you would like to, or you need more energy, you'd like to, you know, get your body healthy, or it could be any other area as well. Being a health coach, that's, you know, my focus, but I work with people in all different areas. And so pick one area and write out all the beliefs that you have around that area. There might be some good ones, there might be some powerful ones, but especially notice the ones that are saying, I can't really do that. I don't know that I am worthy of that. And let it go for a little while. Spend even a couple minutes just letting that flow, because you really want, the more you can let out, the more you can let into the daylight, the more you're actually going to be able to heal and break through. Okay, so number one, write out all the limiting beliefs, lies, or wounds that are holding you back from a specific area. We need to see that target. All right, number two, take a second and pause and just see those beliefs and start to just break agreements with them. And the way I do that is just to simply, you heard me earlier on in this say, I choose not to believe that. I'm going to choose not to believe that my body is stuck this way in this pain. Okay? I would say that regularly when I was trying to heal. I choose not to believe that. And it doesn't have to be complicated, but it can be really helpful to kind of separate yourself from that for a minute. All right, and then here's the fun part. Last two steps are now realign and create some new beliefs. So what I think I mentioned this last week or at another time, where just fold the piece of paper in half. I have a printout for you attached if you'd like it. And you can just write out all on the right-hand side, write out next to every limiting belief. Start writing out some powerful beliefs next to those. They can be in the form of statements. They can be in the form of declarations, affirmations. They can be quotes or verses that really speak to you about that situation or about that specific belief, and go through them. And as you do, cross out the limiting belief and write in the powerful one. Okay, that way it's kind of another layer to the step of breaking agreements with them, but now you're adding in the new belief. So one thing that I like to say is really, take some time around this. Sometimes when I have had areas that are really deeply ingrained beliefs, I actually take a few days on this and more things come up and I respond to them. I journal around it and take some time to really process it. So you don't have to do this in a 5-minute period of time. You can even invite, a close friend or family member in to share what are some powerful beliefs. Spend some time in prayer, meditation, get some new beliefs in there. And here's the trick. You do not have to believe those right off the bat. Okay, we're going to be creating those beliefs, so you don't have to do that. Okay, last but not least, you're going to give your brain all that it needs to rewire and rebuild and to do what it was designed to do. It's neuroplastic. It's designed to rewire, to rebuild itself. And so here's where I don't want to say magic, but I do want to say the magic happens. The way that your brain is created is to actually create new things when you do it intentionally. Okay? So I do this in 4 different ways, in multiple ways, but have as many ways as you can to start engaging with these new positive beliefs. So write out all the beliefs. And I even recommend storing them in a notepad on your phone or in a journal so that you can add to them over time, so that you can read them and reflect on them regularly. So the very act of writing them out engages your mind, engages your heart with it, engages your body with it. And then declare. I spoke on how your words have power. So use your words, declare these things and start speaking them out at least once per day. Do it for 30 days. Start declaring, I choose to believe that my body is powerful. I choose to believe that laughter heals me. You can have all of these. I have a whole nother talk on declarations and using your words, but this is a powerful way to engage with these words. Okay, this is taking that to another level. Another way is to listen to them. Now this is really fun. Record yourself speaking them out loud and then listen to these new beliefs. Let these new beliefs go on repeat. Listen to them at least once a day, if not more. When I've needed to really rewire beliefs into my brain, I listen to them on repeat. Myself speaking over myself, new beliefs. And then this one is really fun. If you're able to, in the home or the place where you live, grab a couple sticky notes and display them, a couple of them, you know, put them around your house or in your bathroom or in your bedroom, or put them in your phone on the cover screen, put them in different places that you see them to remind your brain, oh yeah, this is the belief that I truly believe. Okay, so make it, write them out, declare them, listen to them, display them, engage with them as often as possible. And any time that something in your life comes up that shows, you sure you believe this? You're gonna actually go ahead and say, refer back to those things. Grab your phone, hold it up, look at it, grab the notepad, look at them and go, oh yeah, that's right. I do believe this. I do believe it. And spend some time visualizing it, closing your eyes, visualizing yourself, really believing that. Okay, well, I just declare over you that this is a year that belief will be upgraded and you will have some powerful beliefs coming your way. All right, bye guys.